Hey, Kirk, how's it going, man?
You're not exactly from Avila, Spain. We're going to talk about Spain here a little bit
afraid
later.
not.
But we do like to just jump in because you've been here before. You know that. And have you play a song. Whatever you'd like to play, we would love to hear.
Well, I'm going to play one I think that I played last time I was here that is now out on an album called Snakehead that I released back in 2021 in the fall. Playing it on a different guitar than I played last time. This is called In the Morning. In the morning, I can hardly move my feet into my shoes. It's less like a rut and more like a groove. In the morning, I get up and I go to work, coming home feeling like a jerk. It's no way to live, but it's got its perks. In the morning, I feel just like air, as heavy as a long stare from across the room. It's something that isn't there.
That is a good way to start the show right there.
Thank you.
All right. Barrett Brooks. So, Barrett, we mentioned Spain. So you were in Spain. And why were you in Spain?
Official reasons were that I was on a honeymoon.
Oh,
I'm so
that's
sorry.
a good one.
I mean, congratulations.
My wife and I got married at the fall of 2021. We went to Spain for 2 weeks, and we had a wonderful time. We were in Madrid, we were in Valencia, we were in Sevilla, made a bunch of trips out there. We're big lovers of food and wine and art, and
So you went to the right place.
we went to the right place. And trains, too. We also like trains, which is a big booming train situation in Spain. Very inspiring.
Now, somehow, in the midst of all this honeymooning, you found yourself in a music shop.
Surprise.
Yes. So it's worth noting that I developed a sickness, Kirk, during COVID. It was not COVID, and that sickness was flamenco. I developed this obsession with flamenco.
So this happened
2020.
before you went to Spain.
It did. And it had been brewing in my mind all the while. While we were there, I actually went and visited the grave of a legendary flamenco singer, Cameron de la Isla, but I held off as long as I could. And the last day of the 2 weeks, we had to get to the airport from Madrid. And I think with 2 hours to spare, I managed to guide us to a guitar store in
That's
Spain.
romantic. That is so romantic.
But I went in and I played 5 guitars, and this was my favorite, the one I'm playing now. And I had him mail it back. It arrived safely, and been playing it just about every day since then.
What were the odds when you walked into that store that you were not going to buy a guitar?
The odds were very poor that I was not going to buy a guitar. I was very precise in what I was looking for when I reached out to them initially, and he was very precise in what he offered. So,
That's nice.
Bob, it really would have been rude of me to not buy a guitar.
I agree.
Given the care
Fair
and
point.
attention that he showed me.
That's my exact philosophy when I walked in and met Robinson and Soundpure and later Barrett. I sure can't be rude to these wonderful guys.
I have to buy this guitar just
Yes.
because I'm a nice guy.
Manners are important,
Yes.
globally.
And so who is the maker of that guitar?
So the
Do we
maker
know?
of the guitar is a man named Manuel Raimundo, and he's out of Valencia. I don't know a whole lot of lore about Senor Raimundo, but I can tell you that this is a Blanca, which means that it's got a spruce top. Some of these have a cedar top, but notably it's got cypress back inside.
I was wondering what that wood was because the beautiful color on it.
Mm-hmm, which
You know
is,
what jumped out at me when you first walked in with that guitar is the headstock, the slots for the strings where the tuners are. Seems like they're way wider than what I've seen on a typical 6-string, and it makes the headstock look like almost lighter than air.
Yes. Yeah, it's got a slotted headstock. It's got a very wide neck. And it has a deeper body than a traditional flamenco Blanca would typically have, which I didn't know that. I was playing these things and I was gravitated toward this. And I think it's because my American ears are hungry for power and bass response and domination. So that's probably why I picked this one.
How about we hear a little more of that guitar then?
Let's give it a shot. Yeah, let's play one here. This is one I've written fairly recently. It's not out there yet. Will be someday. The song is called "How Do I Do It?" If anybody knows, please let me know. How do I do it? How do I feel? Any good about a thing with so little appeal? I got one hand on the hook and the other on the reel. Man, I knew it, son of a gun. I put myself out on the run, cold sweating, not stepping, just to have a little bit of fun. I don't wanna make my mind up, I just wanna take some time up. One day I'm gonna wind up, pearly gay facing, holding the line up. What a world, hell what a day. It's a wonder that the sun gives us any morning gray. I'm gonna live like the moon and wait for the day. A cup of wine, a little bit of bread, bird song in the breeze overhead, taking me down to the country from the city in my head. I don't wanna make my mind up, I just wanna take some time up. One day I'm gonna wind up, pearly gay facing, holding the line up. How do I do it? How do I feel? Any good about a thing with so little appeal? I got one hand on the hook and the other on the reel.
Amen.
Thank you.
Barrett Brooks, live here in the studio. Barrett, do you know Lip Bone Redding?
Say the name one more time.
Lip Bone Redding.
I don't.
You've got a similar vibe.
Lip Bone Redding. I got to check him out.
I'm assuming that's a compliment.
It is a big compliment, yes.
He's not some kind of monster, right?
Not some kind of monster. He's a super nice, super friendly Zen Buddhist kind of guy out there playing music and having fun.
That sounds good.
Down like almost Tarboro, Rocky Mount way.
Okay. He might know how to do it. He might have the answer to that song.
Well, I think you could teach him a few things about playing a guitar. But in terms of vibe, it's very similar, and it seems like you're having a lot of fun while you're doing this, too.
I'm having a little too much fun, to be honest with you.
It seems appropriate.
I do what I can. Yeah.
Barrett, tell us a little bit more about flamenco guitar playing. How does it? What's unique about it?
Oh man, I'm gonna try to restrain myself here.
Don't.
So, it's so the thing to know about flamenco is that it's Spanish music. It's known in Spain, but it's really music that came about as a result of the Roma Gypsy people making this very, very long journey from northern India through Western Asia, Eastern Europe, all the way down into Spain. And then, of course, you have influences coming up from Africa as well. But so it's an instrument that the most notable thing, as I was beating my head against it trying to get into it, is that it's got all these right-hand techniques that are very counterintuitive and don't bear much resemblance to other techniques you see in guitar playing. It's almost more like lute playing in some ways, where you need to have fingernails and there's a lot of thumb stuff going on.
Can you show us just a little bit of what that is?
Sure. So I'll play a little bit of probably one of the most festive song forms in flamenco, which would be bulerías. But I'll try a little bit now. We'll see what we think here. Something like that.
Bob?
Yes. Wow, that was good. I noticed that a fair amount of your playing with your fingers, not your thumb, are on the tops of your fingernails, like you're flicking the strings almost.
There's a lot of flicking and scraping going on, absolutely. There's a lot of flicking out, and you're supposed to be tapping on the top of the guitar. It's a lot going on, and a lot of subtle, quick movements where it's really just your nail making contact with the string rather than your finger. You just want to barely kiss it.
So now you're using your nails both on the up and the downstroke, which seems like a little bit more than your typical folk musician does. Does it beat your nails up a little bit?
It beats my nails up, and I've got very poor quality nails, so I've begun this regimen of using a variety of things, trying to strengthen them up. I've got a file that I use fairly religiously, and this is going to sound strange, but this stuff works. It's called horsehoof cream, and I believe it's a beauty product, but it's this kind of disgusting cream that you rub on your fingernails, and it actually will strengthen your nail. So I'm lotioning the nails, I'm filing the nails. It's a strange experience, but I have to do what I have to do.
Kim, do you use horsehoof cream by any chance?
I do not. But my nails are pretty strong.
But,
so.
I remember, in fact, I think she's still playing, but I remember decades ago seeing Charo play.
Oh, yes.
Who was just
she's no joke,
amazing
man.
guitar
No
player,
joke
but
at
she
all.
had 3-inch nails on her fingers at the same time, too. So she must have been using a whole lot of horsehoof cream.
I don't know. She might have had the horsehoof cream within. I'm not sure. I got terrible nail genes, so I'm
I'm
doing
noticing
what I can.
that you talked about your right hand technique. I was watching your left hand as well, and I was noticing that you do not bar, but instead your thumb is over the neck for most chords.
Now that's me cheating. That's me doing what I'm not supposed to.
But that actually,
Does it work?
I've
Then
been
it
guided
works.
by a few guitar teachers that's a smart thing to do if you have like a hyperextensive thumb, or if you don't have the strength to bar. So I've been told it's an all right thing to do.
I'm accepting of it. I think it makes a lot of sense on a steel string. The issue with doing it on this guitar is that the neck is wider, so it kind of creates some challenges. Really, what you're supposed to do, quote unquote, is to have your thumb squarely on the back of the neck, and that allows you more mobility with the other fingers. But I'm just doing what I can.
I think it's working.
Well, thank you. It took me a year of obsessively listening to flamenco every day before I even dared to attempt to pretend to try to play some of this stuff. So I'm just kind of past that.
So for us flamenco newbies, who would you recommend we listen to?
I am thrilled that you asked. There's the thing about flamenco is obviously there's the guitar, there's the dancing. People know about the dancing, the castanets, and all that.
No, Bob.
I want castanets now. Does cowbell work?
Bob.
Probably. It probably could if you had two each. It's really the singing that I like, even more than the guitar playing. I like the singing. So arguably the king of flamenco and flamenco singing was Cameron de la Isla, who I think I mentioned earlier. And it just so happens that there are not one but two documentaries on Netflix right now. One is like a
sweet
movie format, and another is like a 5 or 6 part series format. I would recommend the 5 or 6 part series format. And for me, that was really kind of what started it all. He was really most active in the 60s and 70s, and there are a lot of great older artists that come before, but as an entry point into flamenco, Cameron de la Isla, 110% would be the recommendation.
And we have you brought in a playlist that we will listen to in the last half hour of the show, and I think we've got a song.
Sure do.
Awesome.
You're right.
Well, everybody, we are here with Barrett Brooks getting a real education this evening. It's which has been great fun, but we do want to hear as much music as we can, Barrett, so whatever you have next.
All right, let's try something else here. Let's see. Here's one that also is yet to be recorded. This one's called Sleight of Hand. Sleight of hand, no turn of phrase can take the number out of your days. There's a cool breeze blowing as if the morning had something to say. Birds on a wire and bees in the bush. Every move at every moment's buzzing in the mush. The wheel turns on, no pull, no breeze picks up what the day set down. Swiss ring the chimney like a living crown. So roll in, reach out, line running through the round. Headed home fast, head spinning like a top. Thoughts spilling over when I come to a stop. Bundle of nerves, more like snakes in a pile. It's good to get out, but then it all gets in. My shadow's not my own and not my friend. The streets are waiting tonight for something. Light falls and shadow conspires. No matter how cruel, time never gets tired. Burn on, breathe on, spirit in the fire. I affirm, or must I only deny? If it ain't worth failing, it ain't worth a try. Pain unaddressed lives like a worm in the eye. All this picking it up and putting it down, I gotta leave more than a body in the ground. I can see everything, I can be less than a sound. It always seems to go the same. You lose so much for what you gain. So burn on, beat on, spirit in the flame. Thank you.
Ends with some fancy jazz seventh chord thing.
A little fake jazz, never hurt anybody.
Really. You know, that guitar, it unlike a classical guitar, because those are nylon strings, I guess, but it's so melodic sounding.
Yeah, and it's, the bracing's a little different than the classical. It's kind of boring stuff to get into, but it's really this cypress wood on the back.
I think that's it, yeah.
Crisp, bright, punchy kind of a thing that I can't get enough of.
But there's still, when you're walking those bass notes, it has some nice warmth to the bass notes too. Really nice. So Barrett, you mentioned that a couple of these songs are fairly recent. So is this a creative, productive time for you in terms of songwriting?
In terms of songwriting, the the funny answer is no. I've spent.
He just got married.
Well, really,
she's got to sleep sometime.
Well, it's. Really what it's been is me just trying to get to understand this guitar and playing it rather than singing. And I scream along to flamenco in my car, but we're not going to be hearing any of that tonight. I'm still a lifetime away from that.
I kind of need a video of that.
Well, maybe. We'll see.
One of these days.
But I've just been playing the guitar. I've been playing the guitar and trying to figure out how to play flamenco, but also just figuring out how to play this guitar. So I have been working a lot on instrumental pieces.
Yeah.
And I think I've got maybe 6 or 7 at this point that I want to record next. And I certainly want to play at least 1 or 2 for you guys. But
so both you and Robinson got the instrumental bug going.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
You
not
tell
a bad
me,
thing.
Man.
So everybody, we're here with Barrett Brooks. Spotify is the best place to find Barrett, Barrett Brooks, just like it sounds.
2 T's.
Correct.
Got 2 T's right there. And it's, but we are live streaming the video from tonight's show. All of our shows here on WHUP, the audio is out there on WHUPFM.org, not just live, but also archived by our wonderful IT staff for all these different terrific shows. Just go WHUPFM.org, click shows. There you see them all. You scroll down, you find Past the Hat and 8 years of our shows. But in addition to that, for the last nice number of years, Bob and Kim have been live streaming the video. So Bob, tell us about that, how that works, and where people can find it, because it's on now. We've got plenty of Barrett to come, and when people want to tune in, share with their friends.
I'm not going to tell you how it works.
It's magic.
It is. Just accept that it's magic. But I'm going to tell you where you can find it. You can find it on all of your favorite streaming services, and your favorite streaming services are Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Look for @WHUP Pass the Hat, at WHUP Pass the Hat. You'll find us on all the socials, all the streaming services, etc. You can very quickly find the live videos, and YouTube and Facebook keep those live streams forever. So you can go out there and not only find the live stream that's happening now, but the recorded live streams from the past several years. So there's a great archive of wonderful stuff out there.
And Barrett's show will be there
forever.
And starting, if people miss it tonight, they could go on at 8 o'clock, 7:30, whenever.
Absolutely. We'll end the live stream, at 7:30. By 7:31, it will be there ready for them to start watching.
Terrific.
If they're not watching it right now.
Wonderful.
Well, Barry, we have some business to do at the top of the hour. Between now and then, though, we have time for another song, if you'd be so kind.
Of course. Yeah, I'd love to play you guys one of the instrumental things I've been working on here.
This is one of those shows where you need to make the window as big as you can on your computer.
Scroll,
and you need
zoom
to
in.
You need to zoom in on watching him play the guitar, because this is one of the more interesting guitar playing
Ah, well, thank you.
events I've seen.
It's just my amateur self-taught technique.
It's pretty good.
All right, let's try an instrumental one. This one is called Winding. Thank you.
Yeah, I could listen to that all night long.
So nice. You notice he did some of that flicking stuff, right?
I saw that flicking stuff.
That flicking
There's
stuff.
a little flicking going on.
Flea flicker.
Just a little bit.
Flamenco is Spanish for flicking, I'm pretty sure.
So, Barrett, a song like that, it's, do you have like that written down? Like,
Oh, no. Lord, no.
I've
hope
seen our friend Alan Bronarski is writing these charts for Acoustic Guitar Magazine. I don't know how one would do that, but if you ever need somebody to write those down, or that's probably an AI bot that could probably, you play that in and it gives you sheet music.
I think
so.
that there are programs, I've seen some sites that can, like Shazam, for example, except for the music itself, where, yes, you play the sounds in, and then it generates the sounds, and then you have to go through and edit and make sure it's correct, but it does. It lays it down on
Makes
the
sense.
staff.
You may not want to do that, though, because this way, with it, nobody knowing what it is, you could play it differently every time.
That's right. Well, how else do I jealously guard my secrets?
That's
you know?
true.
Oh, yeah, and you keep the magic that way.
Yes, yes. Well, and the other thing is, what would it do with mistakes? I don't know. How do you notate
No
it?
such thing as mistakes. Everybody, we are WHUP LP Hillsboro. The show is Past the Hat. We have reached the top of the hour. We're so fortunate to have, and we haven't. I am a minute early. Well, I could vamp or I could just move in. We'll talk a lot longer about our wonderful Hour 2 sponsor. Bob?
That's right. We do have an hour 2 sponsor. Support for the second hour of Past the Hat is sweetly provided by Matthew's Chocolates, 104 North Churton Street, Hillsboro, North Carolina, the finest in chocolate and chocolate accessories. Barrett, hold that box up. For all of your chocolate needs. And let's face it, we all have chocolate needs. Get over to Matthews. He's been super busy. The humidity has been down the past few days, which means all of the marshmallows. He handcrafts marshmallows when the humidity is low, and they're the best marshmallows you ever have. Wow. And if you get there at the right time, he will have I have to get the terminology just right, the chocolate enrobed marshmallows, which are pretty daggum fantastic.
So why must humidity be low for marshmallows, one might ask?
Because if the humidity is too high, they don't fluff up. So you don't really get marshmallows as much as you get like a quarter inch of gloop.
Marshmallow.
Well,
So-
Matthew, as always, thank you. You've been a terrific sponsor, and we appreciate your hard work every week. Everybody get on over there.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's the best chocolate you will ever find anywhere, and he is a master at mixing up various flavors, and also going along with that mixing up various flavors, he's got the gelato and the sorbet going on, and that's where a lot of the magic happens.
Everybody, in case you don't know it, great announcement for the town of Hillsborough that Hog Day has returned
What?
to downtown Hillsborough. Yeah. That's why it was so challenging to find parking tonight, which is a good thing. Bob, is Hog Day all weekend, or tell us a little bit about that?
Hog Day is tonight. They started at 4 o'clock this afternoon. All the pit bosses are down there cooking their pigs, and they've got all kinds of vendors and live music and food going on, and then it will be going on all day tomorrow when the barbecue judging contest happens tomorrow. Kim Lane, you enjoyed the vendors today, didn't you?
I did. I took a walk after eating this evening and walked away with some locally crafted goodies. One would include a Native American flute.
Buy the merch, y'all.
Yep. And the other were some handcrafted clutches in the shapes of little animals. One for me and one for Lucy.
It seems kind of necessary. And I don't know why you don't have that flute here in front of the microphone.
I do know.
That'll be next week. She's a quick study. So next week, Kim, we will.
That's right. Kim Lane is our guest next week.
There we go.
Yep.
All right,
get
but
right
our
on
guest
that.
this week is Barrett Brooks.
Yes.
Do you play a flute as well?
It's
We have one you can borrow.
That was a good
flute,
answer.
Flute was the first instrument I played.
Really?
I started playing flute in fourth grade and played it all the way through senior year of high school because
Really?
when I was a little boy in Alexandria, Virginia, I saw the drum and fife corps during a parade.
Oh,
and I wanted to
yeah.
play a fife. When you're, 8 years old, they won't let you play a fife. You have to play the flute. So I played it for years and years only to discover that the fife is a terribly difficult instrument and that I wanted nothing to do with it. But that was kind of what my musical experience was years before playing guitar, was playing
about
the
that?
flute.
Do you still have a flute somewhere?
I do. It's
Nice.
very sorely neglected somewhere in my house, but it's in there.
You'll bring it out from time to time.
Maybe. I think there are some broken keys. I can't remember. They're very fussy, fragile
They
things.
really are. I also played flute for a really long time. And yes, because if any air gets out of the pads
Yeah,
and
the pads.
and
yeah.
it's also not like a show up at a party kind of instrument. You know what? Like, let me get my flute. Da, 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 da.
Have you not met Ian Anderson?
I have not.
Well, he's in a different time zone.
He seems like just a party waiting to happen.
Well, we're having a big party here tonight with Barrett Brooks, and Barrett would like to get some more music in. I expect you might have something for us.
Absolutely. Let's see what we can do here, Kurt. Let's do another one off my most recent release, Snake Hat, which came out in there for 2021.
Where can folks find this?
Spotify.
Where can they find it and give you money?
Where can they do that?
Are you on
You
Bandcamp?
can do that on Bandcamp.
All right.
Yes. And you can definitely give me money there. And you can also find an earlier release of mine from 2017, Solitary Americana, which is awesome.
And you busk from time to time. You got any busking things lined up?
No, I've just been in the house playing guitar and neglecting my yard work, really. That's been the
So
lifestyle.
everybody go over by Barrett's house and
Just throw money in his lawn.
put some money on the lawn. And
Yeah,
Money in the
front
mailbox.
stoop.
Get
There
rid of
you
that
go.
stilt grass out there, please. I don't know what to do about it.
Wait till winter and it turns brown. Everything's fine.
Yeah, it's the current plan. Yeah. All right, let's try one from Snakehead. This one is Love and Money. Creeping, crawling doubt, striking at me, trying to pull my throat out. I'd sing a song that soothes if I knew what it was about. And it hurts to be free from having to become what you could never be. I'm humming low on bended knee, hoping a tune might carry me. Used to have fun in sad arcades, only paid with quarters or the games I played. But there's not much time for playing when there's love and money to be made. The world you see is a mirror, big and broken, it gets clearer and clearer. Fate's a hard woman who screams like a preacher if you get nearer. I can't stand people, never understood what happens under a steeple. I suppose you learn to save if you can't find a way. Can't find a way to be lethal. I used to have fun in sad arcades, only paid with quarters for the games I played. But there's not much time for playing when there's love and money to be made. I ran myself down last night. That mirror gave a look that seemed to say I wanna fight. So I struck a true blow at a certain angle in the right light. I've been feeling flat out, kicked up and buffeted. Don't get me wrong, no, we won't be discussing it. Every chance cuts like a knife as it runs through my life. And I hope something's getting sharper because of it. I used to have fun in sad arcades, I only paid with quarters for the games I played. But there's not much time for playing when there's love and money to be made.
Amen. My favorite
Thank
part
you.
of that song was rhyming people and lethal, which just seems apt on so many levels.
And steeple.
And steeple.
That's your songwriting process. All of these songs lyrically are just as strong as the guitar playing. So what
thank
does
you.
the sitting down and writing a song look like for you? What comes first and how does it go?
What does that look like? That's a great question. It's something I think about a lot. For me, if I can get one line in meter with a melody, we're kind of off to the races.
Right?
And
Do you ever walk around the house just singing that line to yourself for 2 or 3 days and you're like, all right, now I got it?
Yeah, and often too, I give up on things. The honest truth, I'm
sure.
not as assiduous about trying to chase these things to their conclusion, but sometimes something comes along, and that is the feeling, is that it comes along, and you can't let go of each other until you've written something down. Doesn't happen a whole lot to me, but that is the experience. If I can find one line, everything else kind of fills out from there.
Yep.
And then, of course, I have to learn how to play it, which is the hard part. It's interesting to me in songwriting. You can write a song and have the words and the this and the that, but that doesn't mean that you know how to play it or perform it. Then the work begins of trying to figure out how to actually play it once you've made it up.
Yeah, because then you got to, with you, what I'm hearing is you've got to set the mood. I'm hearing a very clear, like, this is a major chord song, this is a minor chord song, and this is a mix. This is, we're not just running up and down the scales like we might with
Right.
an amateur songwriter. We are bouncing around the scales, and Kirk mentioned that we're throwing in these jazz chords here and there.
Yeah, well, I know Robinson would agree with me on this, but I like hearing the major and the minor. I think they belong together.
Yeah.
And minor is not sad, major is not happy.
No.
And I have a lot of fun with not very much, really. There's some sevenths in there, but really it's just kind of the chords and the scale and just kind of moving them around, trying to find little passing notes to kind of make things interesting, trying to listen for sort of motifs that pop out, but just try to let the chords do the work, I guess.
I think watching you, people really should watch you play, because I think it's a really good clinic in learning how to relax on your guitar and find the fun in the song.
That's
like,
the goal.
Don't
yeah.
get too caught up in, okay, here's my chord progression.
Right.
Watching you, I don't have a tense bone in my body when I listen to you sing and play, and I think that's a testament to what you're giving to us. Like, yeah, I'm just chilling and playing this.
Trying to be natural. Long ago, I decided to pursue the course of being natural rather than precise.
Yeah, it works.
I'm much more interested in being natural than I am being precise, and more realms than just the guitar. That's for sure.
But you're having fun.
I'm having fun.
Well, so are we.
I
Can you
love
play
playing
us some
guitar.
more?
Yeah, I think so, and I appreciate it. Let's see. Let's try another instrumental song here. This one. This is a song with some flamenco influences, and it's an idea that I stole from a friend of mine.
What?
My friend Andrew Carlson, who I used to work with, he had this thing he would play all the time, this major 7/8 chord, and he did some changes that he would do, but he was always playing that, and one day I decided to play it and steal it and do my own thing with it. So
I think that's called a tribute, not theft.
no, it's theft, but no, it's also a tribute. But this song in honor of Andrew is called Andresito because it also has a little bit of a flamenco thing. Thank you.
I think that gets a wow.
Thank you.
That was so interesting what you did there. That song was very cinematic. I mean, I was sort
Yes.
of picturing things, and but then you all of a sudden there was like a B part. You da da da. When you're doing all this, but then there's this B part comes in. Was that just subconscious that it just came out of the ether, or where you're playing along and say, well, I just think I need to do something else? Or tell us when that happens with one of your songs, something dramatically different like that, which was very cool and kind of, just, very refreshing and everything. Is it magic?
It's magic.
If it probably is, and it's not my magic, I guess would be, it's like I play things, and I'm sure you mess around with an idea, and you just sort of try things, and a lot of it sounds bad, and some of it's boring, and you just sort of keep trying things. But it's really, I guess, trying to listen to things that I'm doing that surprise me. If I play something and I think, oh, what is that? Where did that come from? I try to really focus on that and go after it.
What I like about it, as what you said earlier also, is that you don't try and force it. I mean, if it's not happening, just let it go. And,
Right.
Or when it does happen, you embrace it and just sort of, I think if you're, I don't know any other way to go about writing music like that. Kim, with you, are you like semi-conscious? Are you in some sort of days when you're writing, or do you worry about it and try and force it? We have people come in here and they go to these retreats and they give them a prompt or 5 prompts. You have to write 5 songs in the next 5 hours. I would.
And they do it. They come out with songs.
I never could do that. More power to
Same.
them. But it's what about for you?
I do it when I'm ready for it. I've done 2 of those over the past 5 years, and I was ready for it, and I cleared the headspace for it. But no, I have the pleasure, I guess, the luck of having a good career where music can be the fun thing that I do. And I want it to be the fun thing. I don't want to do it for a living. I want it to be fun, relaxing, creative, and not pressure. Yep.
Well, that was just really nice.
It was.
We really enjoyed that one.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, shout out to Andrew Carlson. I think he's out there in Boston somewhere. But the other way to answer your question is just saying about that chord to me leads to all these different possibilities, and that's kind of what I did.
What chord is that?
It's an A with a major 7.
Okay.
It's nothing, but there's just something about it in that position with those low strings that is profoundly wistful to me, and he was always doing it. He did things I can't do that were great, but there's something about that just kept playing at it and playing at it and playing at it and see where it would go. But
That was nice.
What was that D with like a 2 in it that you did up in the 5th fret?
yeah,
Yeah, that high.
yeah, that's a flamencoism.
I like that one. Is that a 2? What is that?
What was that? I guess that would be. I guess it's a minor 4 with a.
Well, you talked about mixing the majors and the minors, and that's an example right there. Just really, really nice. Well, Barrett, we have time for probably 2 more.
Great.
And whatever you'd like to play, that would be great. And we've enjoyed this time with you tremendously.
I've enjoyed
Really
it so
learned a
much.
lot.
I really appreciate you guys having me. Let's see. Let's do 2 songs. So the first one I'm going to do is off my first album, which is on Bandcamp. It's not on Spotify, but it is on Bandcamp. If you look for Barrett Brooks, you can find it there. And that's called Solitary Americana. And this song is called Empty Crown. I'm going to tune the guitar.
And if you like these songs that Barrett is playing, go to Bandcamp and buy one of his albums. You might even want to wait until Bandcamp Friday. I'm not sure when that is.
Usually the last Friday, so it's like 2 weeks from now.
Because that means he gets all the money.
100%.
He gets all the
Right.
proceeds.
That is nice. I like getting all the money. you know?
I do too.
That works for me. I feel like lava in a long shadowed mountain, churning in the dark. Appetite feeds, but no thought breathes, which reads that I'm the spark. Feel like a candle lit by the roadside, while the headlights burn on by. Too commemorate a life where only one lives to see it die. Staying up late, working 9 days straight, taking out the cans and the trash. No money down on an empty crown that ain't gonna wait for the cash. I got me a lucky horseshoe in ways it won't do what I'd pay to be a little bit more free. But I'm a day late and a coin toss in a way to pay it all off, away from feeling like me. I feel like an old fox in the city that scrounges late at night, too seldom to hurt all the pity as it walks in pale city light. I feel like the glow of a long gone star, a billion miles away in the sky. Bright death hurtles from afar, proclaiming the reason why. It's staying up late, working 9 days straight, taking out the cans in the trash. No money down on an empty crown, ain't gonna wait for the cash. I got me a lucky horseshoe in ways it won't do what I'd pay to be a little bit more free. But I'm a day late and a coin toss in a way to pay it all off, away from feeling like me. Thank you.
That was Leon Redbone-ish. You could do more of that. That'd be okay.
Leon, I like Leon. I like Leon a lot.
Now that's the kind of instrument you show up to the party with, and the kind of song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I wrote that song and a bunch of these other ones on an archtop guitar, which is, suffice it to say, very different from what I'm playing right now. So it's been kind of an experience figuring out how to play ragtime on a flamenco guitar. But,
do you find that the songs speak differently to you when you play them on a different guitar?
Yeah, I mean, it's you really have to listen to hear what the guitar is doing and see that it's making sense, and it can do things other guitars can't, and it can't do things that other guitars can't.
Sure.
So just trying to listen and be in the moment the same way, you always do when you try to.
What can this guitar not do? What's an example of what it can't do?
Well, it's not much of a bluegrass guitar, I can tell you. If you were to get a flat pick and wail on this thing and try to play that kind of thing, it would be kind of deflated and wouldn't sing out. It's this weird thing where, in some sense, the more you graze it, the louder it is. So if you're really trying to slam it, which is what I often find myself doing on a steel string, it actually has this effect of choking it out, even though you're hitting it.
Clangy.
Interesting.
Yeah. It can get thuddy sounding. Yep. So, yeah.
Cool.
So it really is designed to be plucked.
You got to have the nails. I think you got to have the nails. For a while, when I was really playing a lot of steel string guitar, I developed these calluses on the tips of my right hand and on my thumb, and that works for that, but going to this, it just sounds really muddy and tubby and all kinds of other.
So how are you stepping up your nail game?
So the horsehoof cream is being applied. Mm-hmm. We're filing the nails, and I'm debating getting on a biotin regimen. Robinson told me that it works. He also said his doctor told him mysteriously to stop doing it with no explanation. So I don't really know what that's about, but I may have to find out.
Is that Western medicine?
Yeah.
I thought the answer was just super glue. You just paint your nails with super glue.
Yeah, so people have asked, and a lot of flamenco musicians do that. I don't want stuff glued to my. I'd pick it off. It'd be gone in an hour after being put on there.
Or your
Rip it
fingers would
off.
be all stuck together and you couldn't do.
That too. That could be problematic. Yeah. But
Well, we have thoroughly enjoyed this hour.
thank you so much. It's been great being here.
And
with
we'd
you
love
guys.
for you to play us out with a song.
I would love to. Let's do a love song on the way out here. This
Good
is
call.
This is one from Snake Hat, the album I've released most recently, and this is a love song called "Am I Kind." Am I kind, my love? Do you mind, my love? My heart's not blind, but it does not scrutinize, my love. My heart sees itself whenever I look at you. I hope I have a way with all these words I say to wish you nothing but a wonderful day. But wishing's just a game whenever I look at you. Love's a lonely song we make up as we go along, a lovely way to pass the time for two. The time rolls away and fades, as long as that sweet melody plays, I'm gonna be tapping my feet right here with you. Your eyes, they never miss. My worried mind, they kiss. The warmth you share with me is all I know of bliss. But I need know nothing at all whenever I look at you. Though doubts have often swirled, hard words been falsely hurled, there are always clouds, my love, in this funny little world. But everything's in the light whenever I look at you. Well, love's a lonely song we make up as we go along, a lovely way to pass the time for two. The time rolls away and fades, as long as that sweet melody plays, I'm gonna be tapping my feet right here with you.
Yay. It's always good to end your set on a love song.
I think it's a good idea.
It's a very good idea.
I think it's a good idea.
Well, dear listener, you have spent a wonderful hour with Barrett Brooks here live in the studio and watching and listening to the live stream, we hope. Barrett, it's the time of the evening where we say goodbye to the live stream and we turn it over to you as celebrity guest radio host, where we listen to a playlist that you brought in.
I'm excited.
But Kim has got her finger on the trigger and ready to kill the live stream, which means you need to wave goodbye.
Goodbye. And thank